So what's your name?
I'm Bree.
Bree. Nice to meet you. Where are you from?
I'm from Buffalo, New York.
You were born and raised here?
I was.
What was your childhood like?
Well, I grew up in a house with 4 kids, 2 boys, 2 girls. I am like I guess you could say there's 2 middle children. So I'm the second oldest, and then I have 2 younger siblings. So me and my brother, I say we're like the middle children. So they say like middle child syndrome, where I don't know. I guess I had to my brothers and sisters like special attention. They would make it seem like my father was he passed away recently. He was a drug addict for majority of my life, an alcoholic. He finally got clean from drugs, but he always held on to drinking. So he was kind of distant, in and out is what I remember. I guess my best memory of him is him sleeping on the couch. And my I didn't want it to even be like this. I'm sorry. My mom's a hard worker. She came here when she was young by herself. Her kids are all she has. She as long as I can remember, my mom was always there. She's always worked real hard and kept a job and did what she had to do for her kids. And she married another man when I was 5 years old, and he was abusive to her. He would she would try to hide it for a long time. He would she would wake up with black eyes and things like that, and it's almost he became kind of maybe jealous of the love she had for her kids, and he became not only abusive to her but sexually abusive to me and one of my siblings. For a few years, he was sexually abusive to me at nighttime, or whenever my mother was not around, or things like that. And I don't know, for a long time I didn't tell anybody because I knew my mother loved him so much. I didn't want to hurt my mom, so I kept it a secret for a long time, and then he started to abuse my baby sister. And that's when things started to come out. And I almost feel like I have mixed feelings about it, Till this day, I believe that he has moved on. He has another, family, that he's maybe had his own kids with. That was always an issue for him, that we weren't his, but biological children. And I do believe that he treated us the way he did towards the end of their relationship because he was trying to hurt her as much as he could, and it's no matter how much he abused her, she would still stay around. And I guess maybe he moved to that level to hurt her more, and it became a time where I think that she was stuck in the man that she loves, and then her kids, and was what was going on really true? So I began to rebel after that, even though he did end up leaving. The sad part is he ended up leaving himself. He didn't leave because somebody made him. He left because he wanted to leave after all the disarray he caused. I ended up like rebelling. I started like skipping school and meeting older people and using drugs.
This was in high school?
Excuse me, yeah. It was in high school, yeah. I went to McKinley High School, and then I majored in like horticulture. I did junior ROTC and things like that, and then
Did you graduate high school?
I did not. I ended up getting kicked out of McKinley High School, where I started to go to Riverside High School, and I started to learn how to skip school and without getting caught. And my mother always worked, so she never had real time anyways to make sure we went to school. It was just up to us to actually make it there. And as much as she probably tried, she still had to go on to work, so it became like a part, like almost doing what I want.
And how old are you, by the way?
I'm 33.
So you mentioned getting into drug experimentation, hanging out with older men. How did that begin?
Okay, well, sorry. Well, I'll be hanging out with, this one girl. I had a best friend. I'm not gonna say her name now, but
that's okay.
She knew a lot of older people in the neighborhood that we were in, and so I like went from being like this sheltered kid to this like meeting and learning this new lifestyle that I felt like I was missing out on.
Did you feel like what was the first drug that you tried?
First drug I tried was marijuana. I started to, I would see my friend I had. She was an older girl. I guess to me she was a friend, but really I was like the girl next door that could watch her kids for her. And she would sniff a lot of cocaine, and I would watch her. And she was actually so pretty, and she was like, to me, I thought that was what I needed to be like her. And so I started to snort cocaine too, so I could feel cool, like I guess you could say.
Did it also provide you, do you feel like you were also trying to escape things
from your
past?
I mean, like back to where, my young point, when it came out that I was being sexually abused and everything, and I ended up being like removed from my mother's home. And I was in like every group home in Western New York until one day, I'll never forget, my youth judge told me that he was going to release me on my own because he wanted me to go to real jail. Because I kept running away from every group home he would put me in, or I would act out so they wouldn't want me anymore, because technically the way it goes is like it's supposed to be like a voluntary program that you have been mandated to. However that works. Well, I started like not going home anyway at this point. So I want to say I'm roughly like 16 and 17 years old at this time. And on top of the people I met through my girl next door, I started to mingle around areas with other people that, I would only know on the basis of getting high. It's like, oh, you come somewhere and somebody found out you get high, and then all of a sudden they're like your best friend. And it would just go from there.
So at what point did things start getting out of hand? Like what occurred next to lead you to where you are today?
Well, my drug abuse progressed. And I moved on from like cocaine to crack. Crack was like a much quicker, more intense hit of cocaine. It will hit you faster, hit you harder, and it's a bit cheaper. And it's more so easier to find. As you said, all these. It's so sad that it's like they made the bad stuff as convenient as they could. Like. Okay, well, you know what? As I'm using crack drove me further and further away from the people I loved and my family. It starts like it builds shame inside you, and you start feeling like you're not good enough to be with these people. I guess I thought I had to keep using drugs to be able to hang out with the crowd I was hanging out with. And so like I was meeting people all over the place, and I started like meeting all these guys that wanted young girls, and like I would meet other girls that would act like they, you know, were helping me out and introducing me to these guys. Well, I just started having like doing, you know, certain things for money, for exchange of money, you know what I mean. Which is extremely dangerous, you know. But like, hey, it was the quickest way to get what I wanted, you know. And not only that, it's like hard because when you know you can make a couple $100 off a guy in 5 minutes.
Are you on the streets, or do you have a home that you stay at?
Yeah, I'm homeless now, as of now. I mean, I've been couch surfing, I call it. I mean, not only that, I guess if I don't have anywhere to go, or if I guess I don't want to go to like a pervert's house or something like that, I'll just really walk the streets all night long.
Do you have any children?
I do have children. I have 4 children.
Are you in touch with any of them?
I am not like I could be, no. I'm ashamed of my drug use and where it's brought me at this point, and I don't feel like sometimes don't feel good enough to be with them. You know, I don't want to. They don't deserve to see me in this way.
Do you want to stop this lifestyle and get sober at some point and get clean? Do you feel like you're ready for that, or how do you feel when you think about the idea of that?
I mean, I do want to stop, but it's like, it's hard. It's kind of like it's been so much damage and things have gone so wrong that it's like you kind of don't know where to start.
Have you had clean time since you started using drugs?
Only when I went to jail.
And how long were you in jail for?
The longest I went to jail was for like 18 months.
And you were clean in there?
I was clean for 18 months in one day.
What did you go to jail for?
My house had gotten raided.
Oh, and you had...
Because I had a boyfriend selling drugs. He was selling drugs in my house. And so, yeah, like I was charged like it was mine, and I never told on him, of course. You know, you don't do that in the street. The city of Buffalo, like I said, we're like in the middle of an opiate epidemic, so.
Are there people that try to help you ever? Do you ever?
There's people that reach out, but you know what? Sometimes it feels like, do they really want to help, or is this just beneficial for them, or are they just, you know, doing their job, or is really helping their paycheck? You know.
And what drugs have you used today?
Heroin, well, fentanyl, and cocaine, and
maybe you could talk about some of the things that you've been through on the streets and with your addiction.
Well, I've seen a lot of people die. A lot of my friends have died. I guess it's not. I guess if you say it has it shaped me, I guess it's made me be more careful.
Did they die from an overdose?
Yeah. Or they've been raped and killed. And then, like, you never hear nothing about them again.
Do you carry Narcan with you?
I do. We've actually like made designated areas ourselves. It's sad because in the park with the kids, there's actually designated little boxes for to throw your needles out in Narcan. So it's like they're like encouraging people to use. I look at it like that, but I guess it's another way to look at it. They know it's not going to stop, so they're just trying to help. You know, it's like if you can't beat them, join them.
Are there needle exchanges in places like that here?
There are a lot of places like that. Yeah. But then it's like sometimes, I mean, they just now made it law-abiding, you know, like where like they made like Good Samaritan laws and stuff to where if you even if you're like on the run or have warrants or you had drugs on you, they can't take you to jail if you were on the scene helping the person that has OD. But there's still asshole cops that still have like try to. I've been arrested for hypodermic instruments, and I legally obtained it. So I don't know. It's like a catch-22. So
are there any other parts of your story that you'd like to share that we haven't touched on yet?
I don't know, I guess like a lot of us are judged out here, but I'm not a bad person, I've just been bad places.
You deserve a better life than this. You know, addiction is a disease, it possesses people, but it's not who you are on the inside, you know? It makes you do things you would never normally do.
Yeah, but I mean, at least like I haven't, like I have faith in God, and I know that, you know, this is a phase. And like I think everybody's somewhere for a reason, you know? Not to say that my reason is to be like a drug addict or whatever, but I would like to use my experiences to help people in the future. Yeah. Because I know I would rather listen to somebody like me for help than listen to somebody that's just, you know, think that I'm the person they're reading about in one of their books.
Right, you can relate to other people that have been in your shoes.
Right.
And there are millions of people who have overcome this. And you can do it too, you know?
Yes.
I flew out here for a girl that the first interview I ever did, and I'm surprised she's even alive today, but she's clean and sober now and living here in Buffalo. And I guess I'm just trying to say that, yeah, just never give up hope. Like, you're never too far gone or anything like that if you ever feel that way.
Yeah, I just want to just get right, you know, before it's too late, or maybe if I lose somebody that I don't want to lose, you know, because they die every day, and it's just getting closer and closer to like your own personal circle, you know. Right now, there's like a lot of, I'm in the west side of Buffalo, and so there's like a lot of gun violence. As far as there's drugs, there's a problem with the drugs, and there's a problem with the guns, and like 2 days ago, there was a triple shooting, and I watched one of my friends be gunned down and begged for his life, while the police were 2 blocks up, basically watching, because by the time the last shot was out, the cop was right there, and I watched my friend like lay on the ground, shot in his back and everywhere. And the cop was just like standing over him and couldn't even didn't even know what to do, it seemed like, with him. And then where somebody else ran 2 streets over, ran out and, you know, started to scream for help for another body that was laid out, which was another one of my friends who was screaming and pleading for help as well. You know, he was chased and gunned down, and all the bullets that were hit between these two went in and out of them. So that just goes to show how close the shooter was to the victims. And then these are running through our parks, our kids' parks. This was maybe like 9 o'clock at night, you know, and it's just bad. It's just getting bad. And obviously, it's like, I don't even think it was like gang violence. I honestly really was like some over drugs, really, like, oh, maybe like a territory type thing, territory. Standing on somebody has been there longer than the other, or whatever the case may be. The cops are like not intervening properly, and people are dying. And if it's not by the hands of each other, the cops are like killing them too. So,
do you have any other stories you'd like to share before we end it?
I mean, like, probably not right now. That's the most like update thing. Like, there's just happening all the time. It's just a lot of similar stories, you know.
Mm-hmm.
Sometimes people disappear and we don't really know what happened to them.
Kidnapping's a thing in Miami, you know.
I think it's starting to be one here.
Yeah?
You know, like, there's a guy out here who has kidnapped like me and multiple friends of mine. And we all have the same story about this guy, and like this guy is like nothing is being done about him, and like
someone died too.
Yeah, like one of my girlfriends actually died, and he actually beat the case supposedly on the basis that she had left due to being an addict. She had left the hospital against medical advice, and her aneurysm that was, you know, upset from the beating exploded.
Wow.
And she was off hospital grounds, so therefore, he technically was not the reason for it. Wow. That was the grounds of him being released.
And when he kidnapped you, how long were you stuck with him for?
I was only with him for a day. He let me go. Like, I was, I mean, it's not funny, but like, I wasn't giving up. Like, he was beating me with cans and anything he could pick up in his hand. And you know what the scariest part is? He actually has a woman that he lives with there. And she's like 400 pounds, maybe even more. And she's not allowed, she's confined to the upper part of the house, and she's not allowed to come down. She has to like text him to come down. And I guess it's her husband in her eyes, and he'll be going up taking all of her money and stuff, and he'll blame it on the woman that he has in his house that he's beating. And he'll say he's beating her because she stole their money. And she'll go ahead and, you know, let it proceed, or she will leave the house like he told her. In my case, he had told her to leave. And I begged her to not leave and to help me, and she left still. And she even joined him in calling me names and everything.
Wow.
So it was kind of pretty scary. Another one of my girlfriends, he actually took her phone and was texting my girlfriend here, and telling her, don't look for me, I'm leaving, I don't want to be in this life anymore, I met somebody I'm happy with. You know, he actually did that. And like, this dude is like still out here riding around, smoking crack, picking up girls and using their vices against them and then hurting them.
So is it safe to say you won't get in his car again?
I will not, and I don't advise anybody else. And they still do. That's crazy. Like, they still do. And it's the same car. It's crazy.
Wow. All right, thank you so much for talking to me.
Thank you.